Okay, we definitely know this guy. Victor HB is our next opponent, and he's playing Amalric, which is cool. Let's draw again. That's not too good. That's well, could work out. Let's draw. Growth Guardian as well. Okay, okay. I can see this working. Okay, order could be artifacts. That's usually what I think when I see Amalric, but could be anything, actually. Well, Gurkha would deal with it, but I guess let's play an Elforia for now. And then I think summon a druid into Niana next turn for... or Growth? Maybe Growth Guardian. Yeah, okay, he puts it back, so definitely Growth Guardian. Went for Trigon for Nature Wisdom. So yeah, it's a no-brainer. Definitely go for Growth Guardian, and then we can explode next turn with summon a druid into Niana. That's 2 elves. So that's a 3/3. And he can go face like no one else. Did I DO? I hope I did. Well, that sucks a little bit. At least it didn't go for the Growth Guardian. But there's no way for us to deal with this, unless of course we... get a tidal wave and get something buff up. Which kind of sucks. However, summon a druid into Niana. That's not a creature, sadly, for 1 mana. Could have been an Elf Scout, and we would actually attack with a 4/4 Growth Guardian. Okay. If he plays another creature, by the way, we get both play boosts from the Elvish champion, Swift and the Might Emblem. So a 4/3. So, thank you. Well, we lose 1 creature, and it's the Summoner Druid, not the Growth Guardian. Whatever floats your boat. Let's see what we can from the top deck. Let's manipulate that a little bit, because we see we have a shrine, so we can discard it. Another shrine. Alright. That and that. Double the play boosts. Here we go. 6 damage. Deal with that, boy. I actually don't. I would much prefer if you wouldn't deal with that. So this one is off cooldown. This one, however, takes 1 more turn. Maybe he actually waits to snipe this down. Could be a thing. Maybe put them both on the front line and then just protect them with Just Cause. It's only 2 mana. Wouldn't be the first time I saw that they actually block something. Oh, he wants to snipe it down. No, my friend. Not gonna happen, no. Nuh-uh. I ain't about that life. Told you. On the front line, well, not the other mortar, but yeah, Just Cause. Okay, give me something. Fucking shrines, really? There we go. Okay. Let's see how we deal with this. I guess we have the potential to go in for lethal. Well, not really. He can block with both creatures, so it doesn't make much sense to go all out this turn. We can buff up the Elvish champion a little bit, however, with Symbol of Growth. 3 mana, we would be down to 2, so we can play the Gurkha Tribe Shaman under the Shooting Sprout, which would help. So I think I'm actually gonna do this. Just attack into one of these so we can't double block. Let's see. We can get a little bit of more damage out with this way. Thought he would block with the mortar. Okay, gets more value that way. Yep. Works out. That 3-2 that he can kind of deal with, however, if he attacks with sentry and ambushing sharpshooter. And the mortar is also off cooldown. Like, it really sucks that we can't deal with this. It's pretty bad. Yeah, he still has his fucking mortar. So of course I won't fall for this. Are you insane, my boy? Are you insane? Another one, really? Ah, the mortar army. Murder! Didn't get an elf, sadly. Okay. We're gonna play this, obviously. So, we can swing in for 3 damage with Swift. He's gonna block the champion. Potentially kill it. Yeah, he can block 2. So he can block the Gurko and he can block the Elvish champion. He can actually kill the Elvish champion as well. I think I have to sit for 1 more turn. It would have really been beneficial if I would have top decked an elf there. That would have helped out. But if I just go Swift now, I can swing in for 3 damage. Does that help me now, though, is the question. And I probably need the blockers next turn. Do I go for it? Not sure if that was the right decision. Diogen. Or Diogen, however you want to call him. That's board presence. Goes in for 2. Doesn't really matter. Lifebound of... Nah, Lifebound sucks. Guess that's lost. Told you. Elves are fucking garbage. Let's go for the card draw, I guess. Let's get Doggo out, but let's go for the card draw by getting this back. It's an elf. Let's play it. Two, 4. I can't. If I attack now, he's blocking this, with, of course, Sentry and with the Ambushing Sharpshooter. You can actually also double block with the Ambushing Sharpshooter, so that doesn't help. Elves are just so fucking garbage, seriously. Let's get this back. But the problem is, of course, he gains life, like 2 more with the Alright, if I don't block it. And I guess I have to double block it. Well, no, wait. He has 2, yeah, he has 2 mortars off cooldown. So I guess I just take the beats. And then he snipes down 2, maybe? I could shut down Niana. But I guess thanks for giving me cards back. I'll take it. Yeah, pretty sure it's probably gonna be Niana that he's gonna shut down with the Steel Nor. Yep. Well, it's basically a resign, I guess. I mean, we can just play this and then... I guess under him? Bam. Not even sure if that works. Of course it doesn't. It does. Just see what happens. Maybe it just messes up the blocks because we have lethal with 10 damage right here. But yeah, you know, let's resign this. We can win this. Good. That's the second loss with Elves. So yeah, Elves still pretty much the worst shit out there. So we're now at a rating of 1,117. Whoops. Still in the top 200, barely in the top 200. So yeah, one more game. I'm gonna fuck up my rating one more time with Elves, and then we just never touch this shit again. So yeah, that was it for game number 2. Let's see how it goes in game. Let's see how we lose in game number 3. Damn, that took such a long time just to find someone to beat us. Pinballion, Enoch, pretty cool because you barely see this guy anymore. Draw again. That's okay. I can live with that. I've definitely seen worse hands before. That's for sure. It's another one of these rage corruption bullshit things. Well, let's see if he fucking has like 3 fireballs again in his fucking starter hand. The salt is real. But you know, I don't even know why I actually bothered going ranked with Elves. I should have known what happened. Like, so far, every time I played Nature, it always ended in tears, in me crying, and just cursing a bunch. But, you know, yeah, should have seen it coming, but I didn't. Because, you know, sometimes I still think I still think positive about the forces of good. Maybe they actually want me to succeed. But right now it's pretty obvious that they just want me to fail. Which kind of sucks. Molten Passageway gives him Battle Scald Elder, which I don't give a shit about in the slightest. So we do what's best for us, and that is summon a druid into Niana. And that's an elf top deck. Yeah, I don't give a damn about a Battle Scald Elder. You can just sit there and be as nasty as it gets. Don't think we need Call of Jelaya. Okay, getting the Valley. We can just discard that next turn. Don't want to put Niana on the front now because he can just get killed by the Battle Scald Elder. And I don't want that to happen because Niana has definitely value, to a certain degree at least. He helps us out. He kind of helps us out with when we don't have any cards in hand left. We just have to be a little bit lucky, obviously. Underworld Scourge. Kind of saw that coming. But that's another Molten Passageway trigger, so... Also don't really care about that. Only 2 speed as well, so... He ain't doing too much. He ain't gonna be doing jack shit. Okay. Let's discard the Valley, because we can just get it back if we don't hit a shrine anyway, so... That definitely makes sense. We can play 2 creatures again. So I guess... Just gonna play this under him. Getting the doggy out. 2, 3, 2, 7. Might as well, right? Might as freaking well. I actually also could have gotten rid of Dr. Styx with the Elf Scout, but I mean... He's gonna leave the field after, like, going phase 1s now, so... And doesn't he also have to pay 2 life? Yeah. Yeah, if he destroys a creature, he also has to pay 2 life, so there's also that. And he only has 2 mana. He really ramped up on aspects. If we can just win 1, that would be so freaking great. You know? Maybe there is hope. He has 0 mana left. We just have to play this as good as we can. I think we actually have this. Yeah, he has 0 mana. We have this. We definitely have this. Just play Symbol of Growth. Yeah, he resigned. Doggo into him, and then the Symbol of Growth, Elf Scout, and the other one Face, and then at least we get like... yeah, we at least win 1 game. And that was Enoch, my friends. 2, Molten Passageways that kind of worked, but yeah, took a little bit too long, and we hit the right cards, so we were able to rush him down. Still, as you can see, Elves are shit, and there's nothing that changes my mind about that, because the game's pretty much proved it. We are now ranked 158. I think before we were on rank 140 or something, with a rank of 1129. Yeah, you know, even with the recent additions, meaning for this deck it was Symbol of Growth that was added, and yeah, of course, Elvish Champion. They are good cards, obviously, but yeah, I've seen, like, we've seen it also now that Elves can win if they have a good curve and the enemy just plays a deck that is not in the meta currently. But I've also seen that in Masters, actually, that Elves win. At least I can, from recent memory, I can recall 1 game, and I don't know who it actually was, like, who fought against who and what deck he was up against, but yeah, from recent memory, I only can recall 1 win. But like with this one, obviously 2 with Elves. But if you just look at the broad spectrum, if you want to play rush decks, Rage Rush just works. It doesn't really work against Mono Corruption, because I remember I was playing 2 ranked games and I just broke up the recording because 2 Mono Corruption games I lost both, and I just salted. Then we have Blue Soldiers, which is fun to play with Parallel Evolution, obviously. Either you give yourself great creatures, or you just turn their great creatures into shitty creatures. Or you have 2 Parallel Evos, and you get 1 Messation Phoenix for yourself, and then turn the Messation with the first Parallel Evo, and then with the second Parallel Evo, you turn like their Messation Phoenix into one of your militias. Would be pretty awesome. But yeah, with that, you can have some fun. Zombies is also something where you actually have to think, and that have like fun little things you can do with Mausoleum of the Damned, with Cathedral of the Night. Obviously also with the zombies that you put down, with the Abhorrent Ghoul, and with the Insatiable Ghoul, obviously. There are some fun things you can do, and also when you put down the Flesh Sculpture. For Elves, the only fun interaction you kind of have is with Summoner Druid, Niana, and Elvish Champion. That's about it. But you need to draw these cards in order to actually do something. And then, of course, you've seen that you have the problem that you don't draw the right cards. If you go into mid-game, the enemy just rushes you down with whatever deck they have, and you can't fucking deal with things on the support line and with tough creatures. You kind of need some kind of removal. I mean, Symbol of Growth helps you a little bit because it ramps you up a 2/2 to a 5/5, which definitely helps out, but it's not an instant spell. It used to for a short amount of time. I think before the balancing team actually looked into it, it was instant, which would be a little bit too ridiculous, but for this particular deck, I think it needs to be instant because you can't deal with high value creatures. I'm mostly thinking about Lord Kappa right here. A 4/4 that kills one of your creatures. I mean, if it gets to that point, you're dead in the first place because, you know, Elves just can't deal with that, obviously. That's why you want to rush it down. But then, of course, this deck also doesn't rush. I actually want to hear this from Vanguard X if he happens to see this. Why doesn't this deck run Brothers in Arms? Because, especially with the Grove Guardian, it makes sense. You kind of need to have this. And if you have Niana out, you have 2 Brothers in Arms all the time at your disposal, right? So, I don't know why that isn't in there. That's a little bit of a weird deck list overall. And it only worked once in 3 games, so yeah, I'm not too sure. And of course, I'm a bad player. You also have to take that into account. I'm not entirely not to blame for this, obviously, but yeah, I should have known because I've played Elves before, and that also didn't go as planned. So yeah, if you want to be successful in Spellweaver, stay away from mono order Elves. Because they are just plain garbage, as you've seen. If you want good decks, definitely check out obviously spellweaverdb.com. That's where I got this deck list from. But also there are definitely more interesting decks and more decks that actually net you wins. The Apocalypse one-turn kill, by the way, is one thing that I also played recently, and that also was a lot of fun, as well as Yidix, Whiteix, Comsion, the Shamans. That is still my #1 deck, I would say. That's my favorite one. But that was it for this episode of Spellweaver Ranked. Elves are shit. That's the main premise of this episode, and I'll see you in the next episode of Spellweaver Ranked. Or in any other Spellweaver related video.